Picture yourself on test day. You sit down feeling prepared. You're calm because you know exactly what's coming. You've practiced with the right strategies and know what the CELPIP examiners want to see. When your results arrive, you see the CLB scores you worked for. Your Canadian dream feels closer than ever. That confidence doesn't come from random practice. It comes from understanding what each task tests and using strategies that actually boost your performance. This is the approach candidates use inside our CELPIP packages. When they focus on strategic preparation rather than simply studying harder, their scores can transform dramatically. In this video, I'll walk you through all 4 CELPIP sections. You'll learn what the examiners evaluate and discover the strategies that separate low-scoring candidates from high-scoring candidates. By the end, you'll know how to prepare effectively for CELPIP 2026. Let's start with the CELPIP speaking test. It has 8 tasks that test different communication skills. For example, task 1 asks you to give advice to someone about their problem. In task 3, you need to describe a scene in an illustration. And in task 7, you need to express your opinion on a topic and support it with reasons. Each task has different preparation and response times, ranging from 30 to 90 seconds. Now, here are essential strategies that can help you score highly in CELPIP speaking. First, use the preparation time wisely. Think about what you'll say first, what supporting details you'll include, and how you'll conclude. Students who plan their responses sound more organized and coherent, which can improve your speaking score. Second, address the task completely. If the question asks for advice, don't just give one vague suggestion. Provide at least 3 specific pieces of advice with supporting details. If the task asks you to describe something, include vivid details and varied vocabulary. If you're expressing an opinion, state it clearly and support it with strong reasons and examples. Incomplete responses cost you significant points in task fulfillment. Third, demonstrate vocabulary range by using synonyms and avoiding word repetition. Don't say good 5 times in one response. Instead, use alternatives like excellent, beneficial, or advantageous. The examiners specifically evaluate whether you demonstrate breadth and precision in your word choice, so varied vocabulary is essential for high scores. Next, use varied sentence structures throughout your response. Mix simple sentences with complex ones. Complex sentences are those that include subordinate clauses, relative clauses, or conditional structures. For example, don't say, "I like reading. Reading is relaxing. I read every day." Instead, you could say, "I really enjoy reading because it helps me relax after a demanding day, which is why I've made it a daily habit." This variety demonstrates your grammatical range and creates a natural rhythm that makes your speech easy to follow. Further, use an appropriate tone for each task. If you're giving advice, sound helpful and friendly. If you're dealing with a difficult situation, remain diplomatic and solution-focused. The way you deliver your message matters as much as the content itself. Additionally, use transition phrases to connect your ideas smoothly. Use phrases like "to begin with," "additionally," and "on the other hand." These phrases help create coherent responses where one idea flows naturally into the next. They are crucial for demonstrating strong organization. Also, remember to speak at a natural pace with clear pronunciation. Don't rush through your response, trying to say as much as possible. It's better to deliver fewer ideas clearly than to speak so quickly that your words become unclear. Natural pacing with appropriate pauses between ideas makes your response easy to understand and shows confidence. Now, here's a crucial strategy that applies to all speaking tasks. Use templates strategically. Templates include advanced vocabulary, grammar, and structures that can help you give high-scoring responses. For example, if task 1 asked you to give advice to someone starting a new job, you might begin with this sentence starter. If I were in your position, I would focus on 3 key areas. Then you provide specific suggestions with supporting details and examples. For task 7, when expressing your opinion, you can use this sentence starter. From my perspective, I firmly believe that. You can then state your viewpoint and supporting reasons. Templates ensure you include advanced vocabulary and grammar, which show the CELPIP speaking examiners that your English is advanced. And the best thing is that you don't have to think about how to start your answer. You can simply start speaking. You say the sentence starter, and then you simply finish the sentence with your ideas. This makes the test less stressful and allows you to focus on your ideas. If you'd like to speak with the same confidence as high-scoring students, check out our CELPIP packages. You'll find all the templates and strategies you need to speak fluently and naturally. The link is just below this video. Next, let's discuss reading. This section has 4 parts that test different reading skills. Part 1 is reading correspondence, where you read an email, letter, or message and answer questions about it. Part 2 is called reading to apply a diagram. Here you see a diagram along with a description and you answer questions about both. Part 3 is reading for information. You need to read a longer informational text like a notice or article and locate specific facts. The last part is reading for viewpoints. Here you have to read a passage where someone expresses opinions or arguments and answer questions about the writer's perspective and supporting points. Now, let's take a look at essential strategies for scoring high in CELPIP reading. First, read the questions before reading the passage. This is absolutely crucial for your success. When you know what information the questions are asking for, you can read with purpose instead of trying to remember everything. This makes it much easier to find the correct answers quickly. Second, use the scanning technique to locate specific information quickly. Once you've read a question, scan the passage looking for keywords from the question. Your eyes should move rapidly across the text, searching for names, numbers, or key concepts mentioned in the question. When you find the relevant section, slow down and read that part carefully to determine the answer. Don't waste time reading every sentence in detail. Focus on finding the information you need. Next, pay attention to the context and the relationships between ideas. Many questions test whether you understand not just individual facts, but how pieces of information relate to each other. Look for cause and effect relationships, comparisons, contrasts, and examples. Words like because, however, for example, and in contrast signal these relationships. They help you understand the passage more deeply. The next strategy is crucial for part 4 of the reading test. Identify the writer's purpose and attitude. Ask yourself, is the writer trying to persuade, inform, criticize, or explain? What's their overall stance on the topic? Understanding this helps you answer questions about the writer's opinion accurately. Pay attention to words that indicate evaluation or judgment like unfortunately, beneficial, or problematic. These words reveal the writer's attitude and perspective. Also, don't forget to manage your time wisely across all 4 parts. You need to pace yourself to complete everything within the time limit. Don't spend too long on any single question. If you're stuck, make your best guess and move on. It's better to answer all questions with educated guesses than to leave some blank because you ran out of time. By the way, if you want this channel to keep going, write yes in the comments, click like and subscribe. We only make videos that you actually want to watch. Now, let's move on to CELPIP writing. This section includes 2 tasks. Task 1 is writing an email. You need to write an email of 150 to 200 words responding to a situation. The prompt provides a scenario and several bullet points you must address. The CELPIP examiners evaluate whether you address all the required points, use an appropriate tone, and demonstrate advanced vocabulary and grammar. Here's a crucial tip. You must absolutely read every bullet point before you start writing. Make sure you address each one with sufficient detail. Don't just mention each point briefly. Develop your response with specific information. Next, the tone of your email must match the situation. If you're writing to a friend, use informal, friendly language with contractions. If you're writing to your manager or a company, use formal, professional language without contractions. For example, a bullet point might say, explain why you're interested in the position. Don't simply write, I'm interested because it seems like a good opportunity. Instead, elaborate. I'm particularly interested in this position because it aligns perfectly with my background in project management, and I'm excited about the opportunity to contribute to your team's innovative approach to sustainable business practices. This level of detail shows you can communicate comprehensively, which significantly impacts your task completion score. Another essential tip is paying attention to your email structure. Start with an appropriate greeting, use clear paragraphs for different points, and end with a suitable closing. For formal emails, use something like Dear Mr. Smith or Dear Hiring Manager. For informal emails, write something like Hi Sarah. Task 2 is responding to survey questions. You have to write a response of 150 to 200 words, giving your opinion on a topic presented as a survey. The prompt shows you two options and asks which one you prefer. The CELPIP examiners evaluate whether you clearly state your opinion, provide well-developed reasons and examples, and demonstrate advanced language. The key to success here is immediately stating your opinion in the introduction. Then support your opinion with 2 to 3 strong reasons in separate paragraphs. Each reason should include specific examples or explanations that make your argument convincing. For instance, the survey might ask whether companies should allow employees to work from home. Don't just say, I think working from home is better because it's more convenient. Instead, develop your point. I firmly believe that remote work offers substantial benefits for both employees and employers. Firstly, it eliminates lengthy commutes, which allows workers to dedicate that time to productive activities or personal well-being. This increased work-life balance often leads to higher job satisfaction and improved productivity. Notice how this response uses advanced vocabulary like substantial benefits, eliminates lengthy commutes, and work-life balance. It also explains the reasoning clearly and connects ideas logically. Now, here's a crucial tip. Use templates for both writing tasks. Successful candidates use templates with advanced vocabulary and complex grammar to show the CELPIP examiners that their English is great. For example, when writing your email in Task 1, you can use sentence starters like these. I am writing to inquire about. I would like to bring to your attention. For Task 2, you can state your opinion using these sentence starters. Having weighed both options, I firmly support. After careful consideration, I believe that. If you'd like to use the same writing templates that help CELPIP candidates write naturally and fluently, click the link below to check out our CELPIP packages. Finally, let's look at listening. This section has 6 parts that test different listening skills. For example, in part 1, you hear a conversation about a problem and solutions. In part 4, you listen to a news report about a current event or development. And in part 5, you watch a video where multiple people exchange opinions or debate viewpoints. Now, here are key strategies to help you score high in CELPIP listening. First, effective note-taking is absolutely essential for your success in CELPIP listening because you cannot see the questions in advance. Since you don't know what information the questions will ask about, you need to capture all important aspects of what you hear. Focus on main ideas, key details, speakers' opinions, and important facts. Second, use abbreviations, symbols, and shorthand to keep your notes concise. Don't try to write everything word for word. That's impossible and unnecessary. Instead, capture keywords and essential information efficiently by using symbols and abbreviations. For example, instead of writing leads to or causes, use an arrow. Instead of writing government or problem, use abbreviations like these. This keeps your notes brief and helps you listen more attentively instead of getting stuck writing. Further, pay attention to both what is said and how it's said. Listen for the speaker's tone, emotion, and attitude, because questions often ask about feelings or perspectives, not just facts. Does the speaker sound enthusiastic, concerned, or disappointed? Understanding the speaker's attitudes helps you answer questions about their opinions or reactions accurately. Now, here's an important tip. Listen for signal words that indicate important information is coming. Transition phrases like most importantly, the main reason, or in conclusion tell you that key information follows. When you hear these signals, pay extra attention and make sure you capture what comes next in your notes. Additionally, stay focused and maintain concentration throughout the entire audio. Information that seems unimportant might be the subject of a question, so you need to pay attention from beginning to end. If your mind wanders even briefly, you might miss crucial details. Speaking of missing information, don't panic if you miss something. The audio plays only once, so if you didn't catch a particular detail, don't dwell on it during the listening. Keep focusing on what's coming next and continue taking notes. Staying calm and moving forward is better than getting stuck worrying about what you missed. If you worry, you might miss even more information, so your score will go down. Finally, make sure you answer all questions. You don't get penalty points in CELPIP listening. If you don't know the answer, make an educated guess. These are essential strategies for the CELPIP 2026. If you're serious about achieving the CLB scores you need in 2026, check out our CELPIP packages using the link below. We provide high-scoring templates, strategies, and everything you need to feel confident and prepared on test day. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you're notified when the next video comes out. Also, share this video with your friends so they can improve their CELPIP score too. See you in the next video!